But the Raptors get it done. We'll ring it back again. 114-82. 32-point victory to open up preseason. And hey, shout out the bench unit. A lot of the bench guys showing out tonight as the Raptors were up 50-49 at the half and have moved up into a monster lead, only allowing 33 points in the second half to this Jazz team, who admittedly are not a very good team, but showing out in front of the Edmonton crowd. Love that they're applauding all of them after the game as well. But stay tuned. Our post-game show is coming up, breaking down what we saw from the game, what we saw from individuals, from the team, which players impressed me the most, and what we can look forward potentially to watching as we go into the Wednesday night game against the Boston Celtics at the Garden. So, the Raptors, like I said, 114-82 victors, playing in Edmonton, and I know these tickets were expensive. You're out there in Edmonton. Hey, shout out. You got a good game at least, and the bench provided you a lot of entertainment. So, what we really want to see from preseason, first and foremost, from the Raptors, and this is me specifically, not as concerned, I mean, it is important to me, not as concerned about how the overall team is performing together. The biggest thing I like to look for when I watch preseason games, I really want to see how all of these players look individually. What have they been working on in the offseason? Is it obvious they have been working on specific things in the offseason? Is that showcasing itself out there on the court? These are the important things for me that I am concerned with when going into the preseason games. And I think there are a few things here and there that I did enjoy watching that I do want to kind of address. So, what we saw from the game, Raptors dominate the second half after a first half where, admittedly, as we're going to kind of go into the box score here, the starters weren't anything special. I don't think they were bad. Siakam wasn't hitting his three-pointers, 1 for 4 from 3, 3 for 9 from the field with 7 points. You know, it is just preseason, but I'm really hoping this season Siakam can take a leap from the outside, really get back to that all-NBA second-team season that he had the year after Kawhi left. And, you know, one preseason game does not define him, but there were a few misses at the rim, and I'm sure a lot of these things are going to be able to clean themselves up. So, not overly concerned about that. Scotty Barnes drops 8, Trent drops 9, Van Vliet 3, OG 5. Again, not a ton from the starters, who did look a little bit sloppy early on, but the bench really did come through for us. A nice spread of points here. Highest point total on the team was 11 from Chris Boucher, who looked good, was crashing the glass, 4 offensive rebounds. We love that for him, the double-double. Great to see. I really liked Achua today, and I'll go to the full screen here for this one. With Precious Achua, this is somebody I was interested in seeing because I know we can make a big leap this season. He did shoot 2 3-pointers. He made one of them. That was great to see. What is great about Achua is that he looks a lot more confident on the ball. Last season, start of the season, there was definitely a lack of confidence for the player, in my opinion. He looked a lot more assured of himself on the ball, a lot more assured of himself in his ability to get to the rim. Didn't just allow himself to just take the mid-range shot, the easy way out, and kind of sit back and go, okay, the easy shot. Got aggressive. Got to the rim with doing all of those things well. Great to see from a player like Precious Achua. We go towards further down the bench. Birch, I thought, was decent today. He actually was only 1 for 5. I thought he looked okay just from the eye test. Koloko looked really, really good. I'll touch on him in just a sec. Hernan Gomez defensively looked okay. Not a lot offensively, but the stars of the show, Banton and Josh Jackson. Banton looked really, really good today. Only the 1 turnover. Did have 9 points. How many assists did he have as well? Is that just the one? Only the 1 assist, unfortunately. But 3 rebounds to go along with the 9 points. 4 for 6 shooting from the field. Started 4 for 4. Took a 3 and missed. Did want to see him shoot the ball maybe 1 or 2 more times than that. Josh Jackson, who I have on record ridiculed a lot since we signed him, he looked great today. Like, he really, really looked great today. He was making things happen on offense, dishing the ball out. Didn't get an assist, but was handling the ball really well. Slashed to the rim well, was hitting the mid-range shots. Didn't attempt a 3. He's going to have to be able to take threes, I think, to really make the final roster and look solid defensively. Now, granted, it's just the bench of one of the worst two teams in the NBA, in the Utah Jazz, but Josh Jackson looked really good today. And we'll see if he can keep this up, he might actually just make that final roster. Right now, I'm operating as if DJ Wilson, Josh Jackson, and Gabe Brown will not make the final roster. We have to cut 3 players. Jackson looked great. DJ Wilson actually also looked pretty damn good for the Raptors. 7 points, 3 for 5 from the field, along with 4, 6, and 6 rebounds. That's impressive. Koloko was a player going into this game, just to touch on one more individual. And also, I'll touch on Juancho Hernangomez just a second. Koloko was a player today who I felt looked really good, and I was worried going into the game that he would kind of be off the pace. Didn't really get that vibe at all. He was making some good cuts to the rim, was getting the passes, was finishing a lot better today than from what I saw in Summer League, where Summer League was like, if it wasn't a dunk, he wasn't going to score. So love that he was better in that endeavor today. Looked good there. Defensively, didn't really see him get burned playing on the outside. The Jazz really tried to keep him out of the paint. And, Jazz bigs like Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen did kind of beat us up today. Markkanen had 20 points. Walker Kessler had 11 on 5 for 7 shooting. These guys looked pretty good today, but that's something we're going to have to live with. And if we continue to push the pace like we did today, that is a promising sign. The player that I was probably most interested in watching today was Juancho Hernangomez. And, his last game a couple weeks ago, played in the FIBA Eurobasket final, where he dropped 27 points, got finals MVP, and actually hit 6 straight threes in that game. Today, wasn't very impressive on offense. He was handling the ball a little bit, which I like to see. Get the ball in his hands, see what he can do. But shooting-wise, he was 1 for 3 from 3. Did not take any 2-pointers, only with those 3 points. Did get an assist, 3 rebounds as well. Wasn't that impressive. What was impressive to me, I was worried about his defense coming into this game, but he did look good defensively. He looked fundamentally sound. He wasn't doing anything extra. So if a guy was coming in the paint or shooting above him, he's 6'9", 2 hands up, deterred a shot. He was deterring a lot of shots. Doesn't need to be a block, but if you decrease the percentage chance of that shot going in, then you are partially doing your job. You're more than part. You're doing your job, and that's what you want for Juancho, who was really playing as kind of like the anchor for a lot of his sets on defense, and held his own in that. So hopefully the offense starts to explode, because this Raptors team, there's a lot of great defenders here. We've signed Juancho to be a shooter. He was given $2.3 million guaranteed. It looks like he's a lock to make the roster, given that he's on that guaranteed money. We got defenders. We need a guy who can shoot the 3 ball and be what we thought Simi Hailuk was going to be. So we'll see there. But defense is good. The Juancho offense, the looks were there. 1 for 3 isn't bad either. But maybe a bit more aggression. I don't know. I mean, 1 for 3 isn't even that bad, I guess. Just kind of thinking about it. But for a guy that I was looking forward to seeing, I kind of wanted a bit more from him. He was plus 12 at the end, so maybe I'm being too hard on him, but didn't get the real taste of Juancho that I wanted to get. Let's just put it that way. Now, let's go into the team stats for the game as well. This is what I really like from the Raptors here. So let's pull it up for you guys. 48% from the field, 37.5% from 3. That's great. We limit the Jazz to just 33% shooting. Again, it's the Jazz. They're tanking. I get it this season. Their bench isn't great, but hey, we can only play what's down in front of us. And if we can keep doing this, that is a good sign. Free throw percentage, both teams clean it up. Preseason, whatever. Rebounding is something I really like. That's not something that's with talent. We're a great rebounding team. We profit a lot from being a great rebounding team. We were 60-46. We earned those extra possessions. It helped us because we did turn over the ball a lot today. It's something that's going to happen. It's the nature of preseason. But love that rebounding. Offensive rebounding. We actually had a much wider discrepancy earlier on. It kind of shrunk a little bit later. This is something I really like as well. 28 fast break points. We got out in transition in a hurry. And I think we're a team that is really, really, really going to profit from being able to take advantage of the take foul being removed. The take foul has changed from just a regular foul to 1 shot and the ball back. That is going to really help this super athletic Raptors team who loves to get on transition, grab rebounds, push the pace. that is really going to help this team. And I think that is a big change for the Raptors and a big change for the NBA. I think it just cleans up the game in general. And it stops disrupting the flow as much. But that was great from this. Make sure, if you're watching live right now on YouTube or Twitch, you follow or subscribe, like the stream. If you're watching this post-game show on the Amateur Clips channel on YouTube, because we do a post-game show for every single Raptors game, take it from the live stream and put it onto YouTube. If you're watching there, be sure to subscribe there. We're very, very close to 1,000 subs. In fact, last time I checked, we were just 15 subscribers away from 1,000. So go check us out on Amateur Clips. We do watch parties for every single Raptors game on Amateur Sports on YouTube, as well as Amateur Sports on Twitch. So if you want to hang out for any Raptors game, I go live 30 minutes before the game and get off 20 minutes or so after, 15 to 20 minutes after the game. Hope to see you Wednesday as the Raptors visit TD Garden to take on the dreaded Boston Celtics.